Greetings friends and welcome back to another video today. I'm going to adjust the microphone a little bit, just 1 second here. And there we go, that should be better. And guys, in this video, we are going to go ahead and talk about the White-Faced Varre questline. Now, this is the first step, Site of Grace. You'll probably notice that White-Faced Varre isn't here. Now, when I was attempting to complete this questline, I noticed that there was a bit of a bug that I was encountering. And for Elden Ring, this is really not anything incredibly unusual. Elden Ring is a very specific game with very tight tolerances. And that often means that sometimes when you're playing the game, you'll find an NPC that might be in a slightly different location than you're expecting, depending on how much progress you've already made. And I found that this was a concern with White-Faced Varre when I was attempting to do his questline. Now, White-Faced Varre moves to a couple of different locations. He obviously starts here. And later on in the game, an area where White-Faced Varre will be located is, and we'll go ahead and zoom on over here, the Rose Church in Liurnia of the Lakes. Now, the Rose Church is a pretty easy to access location, and we'll head over there in just a second so I can show you what I'm talking about. But essentially, I was on the part of the quest line where I wanted to go ahead and find White-Faced Varre. You need to access White-Faced Varre to be given an item to transport to the area where the bird is located. It's a bird you can use to harvest runes, and it's a pretty interesting and well-known part of the game. But you're essentially going to hope to find White-Faced Varre here after a certain point, especially after you've beaten Godric the Grafted or any of the other shard bearers. So let's travel to the Scenic Isle Site of Grace, and then we will go from there. So let's check and see if White-Faced Varre is here. We're going to the 4th checkpoint that I've placed over here. Of course, this island is a little rough, so we'll make sure that we get down safely. And I don't really want to fight the giant squid right now, so we will avoid that. It's a relatively long journey. Of course, I have to collect these golden runes whenever I have the chance. You're going to travel this way. Again, it is slightly northwest of the location where we just were. I'm going to be honest, I haven't spent a ton of time in Liurnia of the Lakes. So if I activate a few sites of grace while I'm here, I apologize for that. Shouldn't slow us down too much. Let's continue moving on to the Rose Church. Now, here's the thing. This is where White-Faced Varre, or Varre, I feel like I've said his name differently each time, is located. We'll avoid these enemies here, and make sure you watch out for the lobster. They will shoot at you very accurately in a way that you never thought a lobster would. Some cover between us and the lobster. But here's the thing. The first time I arrived at this location, the Rose Church, I found that White-Faced Varre was nowhere to be found. I looked all around. I traveled through here, and there are a few enemies that do make an appearance. I looked behind the church. I traveled to the front of the church. And White-Faced Varre just wasn't around. If you guys are at a certain point in the game and you try to find White-Faced Varre here, you won't find him, despite him being supposed to spawn right here. You might be wondering, why is that? Well, here's the thing. You have to visit someone else before White-Faced Varre will show up, at least in my experience. This is a fix that I was able to use, and it did work for me. So, I want to let you guys know that this is a possibility. Of course, this will be different for everyone, so keep that in mind. It may not fix White-Faced Varre not appearing for you, but if you travel here and you can't find him anywhere and you want to complete the quest line, what you're going to want to do is travel to the Round Table Hold. Now, before you go here, you will have wanted to defeat Godric the Grafted or one of the other shard bearers. I've already done that. So, if we travel back here to the Table of Lost Grace, or the Round Table Hold, we should be able to access what we need to continue on. You can see that this Round Table Hold has already opened up quite a bit. And walking around the main table here, once you've defeated a shard bearer, you should be able to open this door right here, or it should already be open. You'll walk in, and this is the room of the two fingers. Now, on the left, you do have to talk to this NPC right here. This is Ania. And Ania has items that you can purchase, depending on what you have in your inventory. Now, we're not overly worried about this, but talking to Ania alone is something that you might have to do before Varre shows up. Ania has a few words to say. Make sure that you cycle through her dialogue. And then you should be able to leave from here. After you've spoken to Ania, go back to Liurnia of the Lakes. And you will once again travel to the Rose Church. Now again, this is what I did on my playthrough, and this did work for me. It's also a guide that I saw several places online, but I wanted to make a video that was slightly slower paced for it, so I could show you guys what exactly we were looking at. I'm not the first person to discover this, I will say that, but this is the approach that I have taken. Again, watch out for the lobster. He's not really all that friendly. Oh, that's a classic lobster move. Don't find that at Red Lobster. Anyway, all bad jokes aside, once you've talked to Ania, continue on to the Rose Church, avoiding these enemies. They might want to fight with you, they might not. And then you'll go to the opposite side of the church that I did, because apparently I don't know how to navigate. You'll go on over here, and White-Faced Varre should have spawned about right here. Now, again, this won't necessarily work for everyone, so you certainly want to keep that in mind. But if you're trying to do White-Faced Varre's questline, this is something you might have to keep in mind if you travel to this location and White-Faced Varre isn't here. Again, he very well could be, because this isn't a problem for everyone. I'm fighting these dudes now, just for fun. But if you aren't finding him, I would say go through the steps here. And if that doesn't work, you may have to take a different approach. Try waiting for time to pass at a site of grace as well. But talking to Ania might be necessary in order to get him to spawn. And again, he'll be standing about right here, waiting to talk to you. He'll encourage you to invade another player's world 3 times, and after doing that, he will give you the item you need to access that other part of the map. The Pureblood Knight's Medal is what he gives you, and that's when you'll be able to travel over there. Anyway, I hope that you found this guide helpful, and if it did help you, go ahead and drop the video a like. Subscribe for more videos like this, and stay tuned. I sometimes make videos more frequently, but occasionally when I'm playing Elden Ring and I find something that I think can help other players, I like to try to make my own video on it. try to give you a little bit of extra guidance, try to take a slower and more relaxed approach. I know that some people have watched my videos and have said, please edit them, they're too long. But in all honesty, I like to do this in real time, because that way you can open the video up and follow it along in your game. There's no fast forwarding, there's no taking strange routes, it's just me playing Elden Ring. I'm a huge fan of this game, huge Souls fan. Been a Souls fan for a long time. And again, these games aren't always easy, so take your time, relax, listen to the audio, and more importantly than anything else, have fun. Remember, nothing is cheating in this game. If you like using summons or anything like that, it's a game mechanic. Feel free. I'm a Souls veteran. I've been playing for a very long time, and I use every mechanic in the game. I think it's awesome. I kind of love the extra RPG elements. Do I love the punishing nature of Dark Souls, being a bit more linear? Yeah, I like that too. But I love the open world. I think they've done a fantastic job, and I'm like, I think 80 hours or so into the game. Might be less, I might be misremembering. And I'm just getting started. It's a ton of fun. I absolutely love it. I hope you guys enjoy it too. Anyway guys, again, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. And until next time, Tarnished, have a great one.